Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. This is your boy, the coach from the WWE. I would like to welcome you to the very first wrestling podcast in the world to take you on a weekly deep dive into classic matches along with legends of the squared circle. Enjoy the discussion. Enjoy the back and forth. There's so much to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Payoff.
Welcome to an all-new episode of The Payoff. I'm Tom. That's Jeff. Jeff, today we are covering one of the greatest matches in professional wrestling history, Undertaker versus fake Undertaker.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken us this long, almost 400 episodes to get to a fake Undertaker episode, but I couldn't wait any longer. That's really what it boils down to here. And so
is this the first fake Undertaker match we've ever covered?
If you can believe it and everyone home can believe it, hope you're sitting down. Yes, this is the first one, just a 12-minute just barn burner that should be fantastic here. Yeah, but first one, look at us. After 365 episodes, we finally got here.
And why'd you pick this one?
Because it's what it is.
You have to cover it, right?
You kind of have to cover it. So we are, last week in the show we started our SummerSlam episodes with a good one. Triple H, Kurt Angle, and The Rock. Go back, listen to that one. We got 3 more weeks after this of really good ones as well too, and some big names, but. This was one that, again, when you're looking at the list of SummerSlam matches, it's not one you're going back because it was a technical masterpiece or anything like that. It was a weird storyline. It's still a weird storyline. It's just, I remembered bits of it. I don't remember any of the match before we get into it at this point. It's one of those oddball ones where even if it's bad, and we cover the good and bad around here, even if it's terrible, which I expect it to be, it's still one, it gets you talking. You kind of have to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. There's famous matches and there's infamous matches. So we get to talk about The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to jump into this one?
As much as I can be. Yep, let's do this.
All right. Well, hey, the best thing you said was it's only a 12-minute match. So that's good.
That's right.
If you said 25-minute match, I may tell you I had an emergency come up and I got to go.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. You ready for this one? Let's get into the build.
Oh, it's time for the build.
All right, SummerSlam 1994. It's a weird era in the WWF. You'll see by this card, we're not exactly firing on all cylinders. August 29th, 1994, we're at the United Center in Chicago. 23,000 in attendance, did a buy rate of 300,000 buys. Dark match. Adam Bomb defeated Quang. By the way, so buy rate of 300,000. And I guess like a good WrestleMania was at 1 million. You saw the numbers come out. I mean, we're now doing what, 3 million for Royal Rumble, 3 million for WrestleMania. Yep. The other shows were like 1.5 million. So it's just pretty cool to see more eyeballs on the product. I like seeing those numbers.
Yep.
All right. First match, Bam Bam Bigelow and Erwin R. Shyster. They're part of Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Corporation. They're going to defeat the Head Shrinkers by DQ in a tag match. Couldn't get a clean finish in that one. Alondra Blaze is going to keep her WWF Women's Championship in 8 minutes, defeating Bull Nakano. Razor Ramon, accompanied by Walter Payton, because we're in Chicago, is going to defeat Diesel to win the Intercontinental Championship. Diesel was accompanied by Shawn Michaels. Yeah, maybe Shawn was hurt, but kind of a travesty that we didn't have him on this show. Tatanka is going to defeat Lex Luger in 6 minutes and turn heel, which we've discussed before. Jeff Jarrett is going to defeat Mabel in 5 minutes. Of course, Mabel a year later will be headlining SummerSlam. Bret Hart and Owen Hart, steel cage match. Bret wins it in 32 minutes. Often regarded as one of the better matches of this era. And then our main event after Bret and Owen for the WWF Championship in the steel cage. Undertaker versus Undertaker. Jeff, as you can imagine, the ratings for this were not great. We'll get into what the Undertaker match did. Bret Hart, Owen Hart was 5 stars. Nothing else really registered from a rating standpoint. So again, not a great show. This is supposed to be our second biggest show of the year. How the hell do we get to Undertaker versus Undertaker, Jeff?
Yeah, so this one, it's kind of interesting because you got to actually go back all the way to 1990 and remember that it was actually the $1 Million Man who helped The Undertaker to debut, introducing us to him at that Survivor Series 1990. And so that is why you'll see the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, is involved in some of this storyline. And so at this point, he had... he claimed it was actually after Undertaker lost his casket match to Yokozuna at the 1994 Rumble. And so you then had Ted DiBiase saying that he has brought the Undertaker back, but like everybody knows this isn't the real guy. Like he was portrayed by Brian Lee. I did a little bit of research on Brian Lee actually as a wrestler, and he had been around quite a bit. Almost about 8 years. He debuted in Jerry Jarrett's Continental Wrestling Association out of Memphis. He did world-class championship wrestling, and then he did world championship wrestling. He actually did, this was actually not his first stint in WWE. He actually had a untelevised Wrestle Challenge match with Kevin Von Erich. And so Brian Lee, he did some time in Smoky Mountain as well, too. So he was not nobody. He was actually had the tag team with Chris Candido, as we know too, and the infamous as this episode is, Sonny as well at this point. And so so he had been around and been doing a lot, and so it's not like he was just a nobody or a jobber at this point. And so, but you've got this fake Undertaker with Ted DiBiase, but then you have the real Undertaker. There's vignettes. There's promising to reclaim who he was. It really became it feels weird. Because it became one of the biggest storylines, even though, like you just said, this card had Bret and Owen giving us the 5-star match in the cage as well. And so it kind of weird. And I have a question about that once we get into the actual episode here. But this one, it was weird too, because even though the fans knew this isn't the real Undertaker, like it wasn't like a gimmick or a comedy like role. Like he was actually supposed to be the Undertaker. And so, commentary played up, the controversy of it. And the line I read that I appreciate here was the storyline only works because WWE committed to the premise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it never would have worked. And so that's how we get into this one. Like I said, there's just a lot of weird pieces. It's really Undertaker trying to reclaim who he is, even though we know who he is. And so, like I said, the biggest storyline of the summer somehow, but that's what we get as the main event.
Well, let's do it, man. We have 12 minutes left in SummerSlam 1994 on Netflix. Are you ready?
Yes, as ready as I can be.
All right, buckle up, buddy. It's only 12 minutes. It's time for the payoff.
Ho! It's time for the payoff.
It's just
so
staring
much
each other.
smaller. Yeah.
Real Undertaker with the throw slash. Oh man, his face. Ugh. It's worse than I remember.
Yeah.
And he's small.
But no one really, look at this. No one really knows what to expect.
Just doesn't move like the Undertaker,
You can hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Rock by the Undertaker. Oh my! Tremendous this booth. And a chop into
Yeah,
the
I mean, he
outside.
just looks nothing like him. I mean, not that fake Diesel and fake Razor look like them, but
Backing right back off.
You could kind of get away with it when he wasn't wrestling the Undertaker, but when he's wrestling the Undertaker, like there's nothing you can do.
yeah, when you're right, the contrast of side by side, right, it makes it even worse than. Yeah, I mean, you put fake Razor and fake Diesel next to them, it makes it look even worse. I mean, with the hair on, with the hair covering his face, it looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's crazy this main evented the show too. I mean, because it's like if Owen was going to win the title, then I get like not wanting to end it with a heel, but it's pretty wild that this is how they ended it.
So, and this is the question you bring up Owen and Brett again. This is the question I have for you. Was this, and there's a lot out there. Was this the worst, I will call it, main event swap that was missed? Like, should this have been should Owen and Brett have been the main event versus this? And can you think of an instance where like there was a bigger miss in regards to the
WrestleMania 18?
Second to last was
Hogan Rock.
Yeah.
But that one's in hindsight. I mean, you didn't know Hogan and Rock were going to turn. I mean, that crowd, I mean, we didn't know that was going to happen. So, I mean, that's one that in hindsight, Shawn and Triple H, I'm sorry, Shawn and Undertaker. They didn't main event the first time, and I forget who went on after them, but that was another one where it's like, we're just completely screwed. So I know Jericho and Triple H was after the Hogan match, but yeah, that's another one. Those are two. But again, it's just hindsight's different than But I think even at the time, Shawn and Taker felt like that should have been the main event. So,
and you say 8, I say 18 or 20, 25, however you want to kind of classify it, which that was the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels going on second to last, and Triple H and Randy Orton having the main event. And so that was one of the best matches ever on the planet between Undertaker and Shawn. And so that one was a tough one. I got a couple others here just to kind of, so we don't have to talk about this match. SummerSlam 92, the semi-main event was Bret Hart and the Bulldog, with the main event being Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage.
No, but Bret and Bulldog went on last.
No, did they? At Wembley?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
But it may have not been labeled the main event. So that one, but yeah, they did go on last.
Got it. Okay. So that one. So this list is wrong. All right. That's fine. This says SummerSlam 97, Undertaker and Bret as the main event, and Steve Austin and Owen Hart as the semi-main event.
Yeah. Bret and Owen. Yeah. I mean, Bret and Taker went on last.
Yes. And so, and they're saying because of what happened, like that match just kind of stole the show on that. So, yeah. A couple other, here's some women's matches in here, more recent than anything. And so, but like this list is 18 or 8 should have closed. Hogan and Rock should have closed. And then 25, Undertaker and Shawn should have closed.
Well, another, WrestleMania 8, Flair and Savage. I mean, you could have gone off with Savage as champion. You had that Hogan Sid weird match. But, Hogan has to go on last. And I mean, they had the Warrior come out, which was fine. But that's another one that sticks out.
Yeah.
It's interesting now. I mean, nowadays, I think how you configure the cards, there's a lot more at stake than just, what should be the main event. For instance, ESPN, what matches do they want? Oh, well, we want Brock Lesnar to be in the first hour. oh, well, we want, or hey, we don't want you to put anything good in the first hour because we want people to sign up and get a subscription. So, I mean, ESPN, I would imagine, is highly influential now in how these PLEs are formatted, at least from a standpoint of what do you want on TV, on ESPN or ESPN2 versus what do you want behind your paywall.
Yeah, and that was a big talking point. I remember, what was it, the PLE 1 or 2 ago, where they were saying that like that first hour that is now free on the on regular ESPN versus the Plus or whatever the hell they call it now. Like, they don't want, they want to, and AEW actually, I think, did a better job of this out of the gate versus WWE, is they would have that like first hour free on YouTube or whatever it was. And then, kind of lead into it. So AEW, to my knowledge, was actually doing that. I mean, you did have some pre-show stuff, but AEW did a better job of it for a while there. And now, you've got the ESPN machine behind it. But yeah, like, I don't want to tune in for the Undertaker, fake Undertaker. Like you said, I want to see Sami Zayn. I want to see Brock. I want to see Roman, even if he makes an appearance. Like, entice me. I get it's all about the sales. It's all about enticing me to get the subscription to have the big, show. But yeah, it's all the marketing of it. It makes sense, but yeah.
Tombstone,
we've seen too.
Tombstone, no sound. Nothing.
And this is the fake Undertaker tombstoning the real Undertaker, yeah. But we've seen too that you and I have both really been, the sit up, he gets the pop. Yep. You and I have both really much been enjoying Unreal, the Netflix documentary with kind of Cena's retirement, which they billed it at first as it's all Cena's retirement, but I'm on episode 3 and Cena's retired. And so, I was just getting that started. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Big tombstone to the fake Undertaker. And we've seen how they book the cards, like an injury blows up everything, like Seth, Vision, like all of that. Like we can armchair it sitting here right now, but it's tough to book a 4-month out card. It's not nothing.
DiBiase can't believe it. Ted, if I were you. Oh, and another one.
I mean, nobody's cares.
Some money. Paul Bear's got that.
Nope.
Get that money out. Wave it.
Nobody's on their feet. People aren't even looking at the match.
The best part about this angle was the Leslie Nielsen vignettes from Naked Gun. Oh boy, what's the third tombstone?
Look at a giant urn too. Jeez, compared to the OG one.
I think that's it. They're glad it's over.
Thank God it's over, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just such an odd thing to end the show with.
Yeah, like, people are on their feet now for the real one, but it's weird.
And remember, The Undertaker wasn't that over during this era. I mean, right? Like, this wasn't...
No, yeah, good point.
Later on, so... All right, I think we said what we needed to say. Let's get to the aftermath.
Ho! It's time for the aftermath.
What'd you think?
It was what it was. It was nothing. I'm ready. I could very quickly move on to our next one.
Here's the thing. I think if it would have been in the middle of the card, I think... Okay. Hey, Undertaker was gone. He lost a casket match. He was hurt in real life. We found kind of a quirky, campy way to bring him back. Okay. I think it's the fact that I think what's so offensive about this is it's the main event of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that this is one that if it was placed anywhere else, and I think part of the crowd is so dead because they just had a 30-minute, just absolute best match they've ever seen. between, Owen and Brett. And then, oh, by the way, come out and watch this. Like, it almost should have been a dark match after the show. It's just, it just doesn't sit right.
Well, and you bring up a good point, which is, I mean, we could go back and look, but like, this was probably the highest rated match in years in the WWF.
I
mean, I don't know what match would have been higher. I mean, this is probably like, that might be the best match since, I don't know. I mean, I guess you had the ladder match with Shawn and Razor, which is another reason why it's crazy Shawn wasn't on the show. But yeah, just not a lot of great matches during this era. Okay, so Leslie Nielsen's at the show and his sidekick as well. And okay,
yep.
All right. So how is this one reviewed?
Not well. That's the best way of looking at it here. This one just somehow, I will say the fake Undertaker was PWI's number 41. So good job to Brian Lee for getting the character over. Real Undertaker was number 23. This was the end of this. Like, there was no follow-up. Real Undertaker wins. Fake Undertaker's gone. That's it. And so a true blow off to this. Not a whole lot. I mean, there's really nothing to say. So what are your thoughts on this one? What kind of a score do you want to give it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a 3. I don't think it was like awful. I just think wrong place in the card. But I mean, it was what it was. There was a reason to bring him back. I mean, it was something. I mean, look, there's only so much you can do with the Undertaker character. All right. Like, what else were they supposed to do?
Right.
I don't know. They found a way to bring him back and do something unique and interesting. I think there was a big Pizza Hut or Domino's ad campaign tied to this as well. So I don't think it was like the worst thing ever. And again, it's just, it's not easy to book the Undertaker.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I give it a 2. Like, it's not even worth, it's what it was. It was the storyline, whatever, but I would not recommend anyone going back to this one. It's just not worth it.
Okay. Well, it's funny. We go from this. I'm looking at the next 3 episodes we're doing, and they're all classics. So next week,
you're welcome.
Jeff Hardy, RVD, ladder match, SummerSlam. That should be awesome. So looking forward to that. Yeah, we'll get back some good matches. But as always, you join us for the famous matches. You join us for the infamous matches. We hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week on an all new episode of The Payoff.